Boom, I'm back. I think I fixed our issue. I don't know if I'm going to lose you guys or if you're still around. I am William Poett. It is Monday. We had a little bit of a tech hiccup, but I think we are back in the game. Let's go big. And this is what mindset mastery is all about. We don't live in a perfect world, and rarely do things go as planned. But I believe our situation has been solved. If you guys are still around, it would be super great to hear you, see you. I do have a really great training plan for us today. So I am William Poett. I'm president of NIQ Solutions. We are good now. Ernesto Paredes, guys, if you ever get a chance to actually have coffee with this man, do it. He is an Iron Man in life, of life. I believe you said you just signed up for another Iron Man. We've got Lindsay Leonard back in the house. I love it. Ernesto, what Iron Man? You said you just signed up for a new one. So what Iron Man did you sign up for? Put you on a little pressure here. And let's take a big breath because it's a brand new week. It's a brand new day. We are here because we are committed to thriving. It's not just about surviving. This is not just about slogging for one more day and one more week. It's about having as much impact, joy, and create as many positive experiences for yourself and those around you as humanly possible. So I am super fired up. I love that I got Lindsay and Ernesto in the house. I hope more people will be joining us. I'm going to have a sip of coffee with my coffee mates, and then we're going to jump into a really great training. Thank you. God, it's so good to see you guys. And what a really cool ritual. And one of the things as we look into mindset, so what is your mindset? Half Ironman, April, nice. Your mindset is the framework that you use to live, move, survive, act, and react in the world. And your mindset is made up of three things: your beliefs, and your beliefs are really your I am, it is. These are stories that we have been trained, that we've taught ourselves. It's that inner voice. Do you have an inner voice or do you have an inner critic? It's all part of your belief system. It's your values. What matters most to you? How do you move in the world? How do you relate to other people? How do you create? And then it's your dominant feelings. And so your mindset is malleable. The human brain is malleable. And thank God, because our lives are not going to elevate above or beyond the frame of mind we use to move out into the world with. And this is really critical, because when we woke up today, we all have access to the same 24 hours. We have access to the same information. We have access to the same customers and opportunities. And my ability to access those is really determined by the beliefs that I have about myself and about the world around me, the values that I hold, and my feelings. So what we're going to talk about today, I use something called Sansama. And Sansama is it's not a calendar app and it's not a to-do app. It's really it's my energy management app. And what's really cool is they do a weekly blog. They send something home. There is the good doctor. Good morning, doc. They sent a blog back and it said, stop managing your time and start managing your energy. And I got completely thrilled about this because our company, 9Q Solutions, is 100% all about energetic intelligence. In fact, 9Q symbolizes energetic intelligence. And so we're going to talk today about how do I set my week up, not so much in terms of time management, but in terms of energy management. So I shared this little visual with a friend of mine, and he sent back, he goes, God, I wish I knew how to do that, because my energy is all over the place. My energy fluctuates so much on a daily basis. How many of you guys can relate to that? We all have ebbs and flows. We have highs and lows. But what I want you guys to understand is we are not victims to the energy we have access to. Most of us just haven't been trained on how to manage it, right? So what is energetic intelligence? What is energy management? It's recognizing that, you can have a Sunday ritual, and I have one of these, and most high achievers do, where you lay out your calendar for the week. And the exercise is really imagining masterpiece, really looking out at the next 7 days and taking all of the information and all the what is that you have in front of you and planning the most, excuse me, the most beautiful week you can. And one of the things that we teach people, and this is really, really important, most people are a lot of people are very goal centric. And goals are powerful. Goals are ways for us to direct our energies. At 9Q, we teach people how to become system and process centric. And it's really, really important. And what you're going to understand is the highest achieving men and women in the world are system and habit driven, not goal driven. So what do I mean by that? One of my goals is to compete in a Centurion Olympics. And a lot of you guys have never heard of this, but Dr. Peter Attia is a longevity and a life. I got him. He's a fitness and a health specialist, brilliant doctor, and he's talking about really training today for that ultimate quality of life. And in his Centurion Olympics, I've adopted as a goal, it's when I am 100 years old, knock on wood, with technology and the way we're moving right now, I not only intend to live to be 100, I know Ernesto is going to be there with me. Actually, I'm going for $125. But when I am 100, I intend to be vibrant, to be powerful, to be skiing, playing with my grandkids. And what are the things that I need to do in order to compete in a Centurion Olympics? Then what we do is we look at our daily habits. We look at the routines and rituals. Ernesto's got a half Ironman in Oceanside coming up. So what Ernesto is going to do is he's going to imagine what are the daily routines, rituals, and habits that are going to optimize my performance in this event. So the event is great and it's important. Anyone who's ever competed in something like this, there's a little bit of a post-event depression. It's like it's there and then it's gone. The joy and the power and the impact is really in who we become, in the habits and systems we deploy along the way. So you can take this idea, and I've got a multitude of visions of the man I intend to be in terms of my professional life, in terms of my personal life, in terms of my physical health and vitality. And instead of writing down, and I do write down specific targets, but I'm less concerned with the targets than I am with the habits and rituals I deploy every single day to create those long-term outcomes. And what is so much fun is the beginning, the moment you set on an adventure, the moment you deploy new habits, new elevated ways of managing your energy, you start getting the benefits. And the goal really shouldn't be the ultimate journey. It should be the experience. It really should be the man or woman that we become en route to that goal. So what does energy management look like? What does it mean to manage my energy versus my time? So we got to go back to physics 101. Energy in physics is my capacity to work, period. As humans, your capacity to work is based on 5 quotients. And again, you guys are getting a 9Q, this is kind of 9Q 101 training today. We've touched on these in previous Mindset Masteries. Your 5 quotients are your PQ, IQ, EQ, SQ, and 9Q. most people are aware of IQ. That's your intelligence quotient. What is intelligence? Intelligence is your ability to access and apply information and knowledge. That is the definition of intelligence. Well, what is PQ? What is your physical quotient? Your physical quotient is your ability to access and apply physical vitality. How much can you lift? How much can you move? How much juice do you bring every day to your job? EQ, more and more people are learning, reading, hearing about this. EQ is your emotional intelligence. It's your ability to manage your emotional state. And this is critical, regardless of what's happening around you. And there's a hint, and we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper as we get into the training. Then at 9Q, we talk about your SQ. This is your spiritual or your service quotient. This is really where you scale your gifts. Every one of us, every person born has something very special. There's something special about you. Your DNA has never existed. Your mindset has never existed. The way you look and feel and think about the world has never existed. And there is a genius inside of you. And when we recognize and honor and develop that genius, magic happens. Unfortunately, our society doesn't really celebrate that. We teach our kids, well, no, you got to fit into a box. You got to get good grades. You got to get your SATs. You got to go to a good college. And you got to get a good job. And we don't teach our children to honor their gifts. We don't teach them to honor the genius that lies within them. And it's really ironic because I've studied peak performers my entire life. What do you do if your kid comes to you and he says, well, Mom, Dad, I want to be a professional skateboarder? Well, I don't know, son. What kind of career is in that? Maybe you should go to business school. Maybe you should get your degree in economics. I don't know. Tony Hawk is worth $400 million. Tony Hawk is a professional skateboarder. Tony Hawk recognized his passion, his gift, his love. He mastered those skills. And here's what SQ is. Then he became an expert at sharing those skills with the world. There are Tony Hawk. He's got clothing lines. He's got skateboards. He's got video games. He's built an empire around his gift and his passion. So that's PQ, physical quotient, IQ, intelligence quotient, EQ, emotional quotient, SQ, spiritual service quotient. This is really how you scale your gifts, scale your company. And then there's 9Q. 9Q is your energetic quotient. It's your capacity to harness and deploy all of those, because you might be a triathlete. You might have just finished the Ironman in Hawaii and placed in the top 5, and you might have graduated from MIT. So you might be a brilliant athlete, and you might have off the chart emotional intelligence. You really know how to self-manage. You know how to support others. You really know how to elevate those around you. But you have 104 fever and you are so nauseous you can't move. In other words, your top 4 quotients are all level 9s or above, but your PQ is a 1. If your physical quotient is a 1, I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how emotionally intelligent you are. I don't care how good you are at sharing your gifts. You're not going to be able to do anything. So the first thing that we must do if we are going to become masters of managing energy, which is much more important than just managing time. Time is a component of energy. So remember, in physics, energy is our capacity to work. Well, we work within the frame of time, but our capacity to work is based on how much physical vitality, how much knowledge and information. How are you feeling? Have you really identified what your gifts are? Have you learned how to scale those? These are all the components of your capacity to work. If you're running a huge company, your capacity to work, this is your capital, it's your labor, it's your strategy, it's your marketplace. These are all the building blocks of energy or capacity to work. And what we're going to talk about today is we're really going to focus on the third pillar of mindset. And the third pillar of mindset are your dominant feelings. Remember, we got your beliefs, we got your values, your dominant feelings. How critical are our feelings to our energy, to our capacity to work? And I want you to think about this, because this is, again, this is a core 9Q principle. Think of the word emotion, and let's take the E at the front, put a hyphen in it, and we end up with E-motion, or energy in motion. There have been studies done by everyone that when you feel great, when you are focused, you are in flow. When you feel great and when you're focused and in flow, you are 5 times more productive. McKinsey did a 10-year global study. You have a 5x productivity level. Think about that. What does it require? It requires me to feel great. So when you go into the office and you ask your team, how are you feeling today? Don't just give lip service to the question. Actually care. How is your team feeling? How are you feeling? And then learn how to manage your emotional state. Of all the quotients, the one that is easiest, believe it or not, easiest to develop, easiest to deploy, and has some of the greatest impact, it's your emotional intelligence. It can be trained, it can be mastered, and your emotional intelligence has such a critical role in how you feel, and how you feel has such a critical role in how you perform. So we have a really simple scale that we use in our 9Q training protocols, 1 through 10. And I shared this with you guys in episode 2. So top of the scale, we have 8, 9, 10. This is the green zone. This is the sweet spot. This is where peak performers spend the majority of their time, and it isn't accidental. This is going to be key. Then we have 5, 6, 7. This is the yellow zone. How do I feel in yellow? A little bit stressed, a little bit overwhelmed, some worry, lack of focus. This is where most people live. I've got 1 through 4, red zone. Now I'm in fear, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. Think about your team. Think about your company. Think about the world that we're living in. And just with this really simple spectrum, give it a rating. 2020, 2021, 2022, really difficult years globally. Our research, right now, the world, most organizations are teetering somewhere between high red and low yellow. People are stressed. People are overwhelmed. People are quitting. People are living in fear. We've got inflation, and we've got supply chain issues, and we've got uncertainty about the economy. These times of disruption destroy an untrained person's emotional intelligence. They really restrict an untrained person's capacity to manage their energy. So that's why most people feel like they're victims of their environment. You aren't. The power and the beauty and the key of emotional intelligence, which is really a direct link to energetic intelligence, is emotional. I can manage my emotional state in spite of what's happening around me. And this is a really, really critical idea. And I want you guys to sit with this, because everyone handles great well. Everybody. You don't need emotional intelligence when everything is going well. It's when you are in the middle of a storm. Can you show up? Can you bring your love? Can you bring your focus? Can you still feel great when it's all falling down around you? And when you think of a great competitor, a great athlete, they might be, the team might be 20, 30 points behind. In order for me to rally, in order for me to come back from disaster, I can't be focused on the disaster. I've got to be focused on the win. I've got to be focused on that idea of my life or the game or the team that makes me feel fantastic. So this is really the key. It's learning how throughout the day to manage your emotional state, to make sure that before every new event, and again, as you go through the day, we teach the idea of sequences. You have lots of sequences as you move through the day. You've got your morning coffee with William Poett. After this, you might have a staff meeting. You might have a client call. You might be going to the gym, taking a friend out to lunch, coming home, picking up your kid from school, having dinner with your family, having some fun time in the evening. We have all these different sequences. A person that has a mindset, has mastered their mindset, recognizes that the quality of my life is determined by how I show up for each of these new sequences. So here's training tip number 1 for this week. And I know that if you were to show me your calendar, unfortunately, most people who have been taught time blocking and time management, I'm going to see back-to-back meetings. You know, you're going to from 6 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night. I see this all the time. Calendars are completely full, no breaks, because we've been taught that action adds value, and nothing could be further from the truth. The most successful people on earth work about 4 hours a day, actual work. MIT's done studies on our capacity to do deep thought and deep work. It's about 4 hours. So learning how to set your day up from an energy management perspective versus a time management perspective. And what just a simple trick, give yourself 10 minutes between meetings. 10, and you'd be surprised. Oh, I don't have any control of my calendar. You better get some control of your calendar. And well, no, I work for a international, global, multi-billion-dollar company, and they schedule back-to-back meetings. Talk to your boss, talk to your supervisors instead of a 30-minute meeting. And we can train you how to do this. This is literally what we do. Instead of a 30-minute waste of people's life, how about a 10, 15-minute highly intentional, very clear, get together, do what needs to be done, and then free people to go back to their lives again. Create this space, create these windows, because what these windows do is they allow me a chance to check in and see where I am energetically. And here is a peak performing tip. Wayne Gretzky, I worked with him a couple decades ago. Some of you are old enough to remember him. One of the greatest hockey players to ever live. He wouldn't step on the ice until he had energetically won the game. He had a ritual. He had a setup. Nadal, the greatest tennis player in history, one of the greatest tennis players in history, has a ritual, has a setup. Michael Phelps has a ritual, has a setup. These are the things I do to elevate before I act. So here's another really key concept I want you guys to take with me. Most people think, oh my God, we have problems, we're fighting fires. Take action. No. Elevate. We've got our 1 through 10 spectrum, right? Elevate. Get in the green zone. Then take action. Because we know neuroscience has proven when you are feeling great, when you're clear, when you're rested, your brain fires differently. Your neocortex is more engaged. Your creativity, your insights, and inspiration are all activated. As we descend into stress and overwhelm and fear, our brain, we move more towards the reptilian, more towards the reactive part of our brain. And when you need to problem solve, that's not where you want to be living. So you guys are going, okay, William, this sounds really great. How do I do it? We're going to do a really fun, really simple exercise. Right now, it's going to take 2.5 minutes. And I'm going to show you how easy this can be. Emotional intelligence requires 3 things: self-awareness, self-management, and then the support of those around us. So first thing, take a breath. Maybe close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and check in. Where are you right now? How do you feel on our 1 through 10 on the 9Q productivity flow chart? Are you a green 9? Do you feel great? Are you focused, intentional? Are you Are you a little stressed? You're thinking about the next meeting. You had a fight with someone that like check in. Where are you? Be honest. Go ahead and write that down. You're in the green zone, yellow, red. Now, if you have paper in front of you, that would be super awesome. If you're driving, don't do this. But what I would love you to do is, and you can do this mentally, just be careful again if you're driving. We're going to write on top of a piece of paper everything I love. You take a big breath, and you're just going to start writing things down. It really helps to actually write. What do I love? I love learning. I love really great food. I love snowboarding. I love backpacking. I love my partner. I love my family. I love technology. So just start writing. Write down everything you love. We're going to do it for just not 60 seconds. Don't skip this. It's a really valuable, really important exercise. And again, if you're driving, think about what are the things that excite you? What are the things that turn you on? You just got the winning lottery ticket. There's $500 million after taxes deposited in your bank account. How are you going to spend your life? Who are the people you're going to spend your life with? What are you going to surround yourself with? What do you love? Just keep writing, write down. And it can be big things. It can be little things. I love a sunset and a really nice glass of Napa Cab. I love the feeling after a great workout. I just write. I love traveling. I love exploring new cities and new adventures with my partner. So keep writing. We're going to go about 10 more seconds. And I want you to stop. Take a breath. How do you feel? How's your energy? And if you did this exercise, you feel better. Energy is lighter. People share. We do it all the time. I feel more expansive. I feel more clear. I'm more excited. There has been a shift in your energy. There's been a shift in how you feel. So now we're going to do the second part of this exercise. And we're going to take another piece of paper and we're going to write down things I hate, things I want to avoid. And we're going to not maybe 45 seconds. What are the things that destroy your energy? What are the things that pull you down? Toxic people, gossip, negative, angry news, I don't know, doing taxes, taking out the trash. What are the things that bring you down? And just write them out, cleaning your toilet, just, if you were in absolute control of your life, you would not do these things. You would insulate yourself from these things. So we're going to write these down. What do you just, and if, toxic people for me, anger, time stealers, these are the things. Now, pause and take a second. How do you feel? You feel, if you did this exercise, you feel differently. We tend to constrict. When we focus on the negative aspects of life, we constrict. Our energy shrinks. Our capacity, the way we think and speak and act changes. So now let's go back real quick, kind of shake it out, and look at that love page again. What are the three things? Take out a pencil and circle the three things that you really enjoy that bring light and life and passion and power to you. And look at those and focus on those. And look at how you feel. And so what we did in a matter of 2 minutes is we changed your emotional state. We changed your energetic state. We're going to go a little bit long. We're going to wrap in about a minute, but we started late and I want to give you guys this full 30 minutes. This is one example of emotional and energetic intelligence. And so if you guys are still with me, how did that feel? Did you notice, because again, emotional intelligence, did you notice a shift in your energy? And this is a really simple technique that you can do all the time. And our clients, because they build windows in between meetings, our clients have what we call reboots. These are simple, easy techniques and exercises that they can deploy anytime throughout the day to elevate their energy, to manage their energy. Because there are times, there are meetings, there are things that you need to do. There are things that require the best of you. And in fact, if you're really going to adopt the mindset of a master, everything you say yes to deserves your best. If it's on your calendar, it deserves you in the green zone. Today deserves you in the green zone. And look, I realize that there could be some really horrific challenges happening in your life. I live on the same planet as you. I've gone through 5, 6 weeks, some of the most brutal weeks of my life. They need me at my best. I need to be able to show up at my best. And so, really simple technique, really simple concept. Thank you guys for being a part of our Mindset Mastery. Thanks for your perseverance today. And do me a favor, share this training, share it with your team, share it with your friends. Make sure you follow 9Q Solutions on LinkedIn. And if you want to learn more about how we can bring these tools and these habits into your company, how we can help elevate your entire team, just message me here on LinkedIn and we can do a discovery chat, explain how easy it is and how scalable it is. And that's it. I am William Poett. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. I hope you've got one takeaway that you can use to make this a really amazing week. And I will see you guys next Monday for another episode of Mindset Mastery. Until then, go out and make some great happen. And that's it. Today, manage your energy. Focus on the great